Hello, this is Shakhar Pelled, freelance translator since 1985, sharing with you some insights of the industry, the art, and the profession. And today I'd like to expand on the social context of creating translations in relation to what I spoke of last time about a bad translation that is haunting us from the 80s, and there's many such, because it becomes enshrined in various databases of huge computer companies, for example, Microsoft. So I was speaking last time about a bad translation of the word tab that you find in many places, and that Microsoft provides a translation from many years ago that everyone adheres to. But now I want to speak to you about the social context of this, because let's say that you, as a conscientious translator, you realize the error of Microsoft's ways, and you want to be an innovator, not an innovator, sorry, what's it called, a reformer. You want to reform the translation, and you want to use the better terminology for translating tab, not cartesiya, but leshonit. Wow, that's great. But even though it's bad terminology, there is a social context, because what happens when you do that? It goes into the system, and the system, the computerized system, the mechanized, engineered system, spews back an error. So you don't want it to come back in QA, because next time you'll have to either explain your choice, and or go back from it because the client insists on the Microsoft terminology as, you know, it's enshrined, it's like the canon. So you're going to just get into trouble. And and what are you going to do? You're going to fight windmills? You're going to be the great reformer who translated tab as leshonit instead of cartesiya? And because you think that the computer user or the printer user or whatever will understand it better if it says leshonit instead of cartesiya, because nobody will understand the cartesiya thing. It's like, what? Cartesiya? Like index cards? These cardboard things that we had in the 80s? Where's that on my computer? It just doesn't click. It doesn't compute. Okay, excuse the pun. But so if you're thinking of the person who's going to read this manual, who has no access to the source, you would want to use the proper word. But since you are working in a social context of the larger companies, and believe me, I've had some arguments, you know, okay, I don't want to go into it, but you know, I've had a company in China insisting on these kind of things, and you know, you can't explain yourself because they don't know Hebrew. They want the consistency, and so you just say, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to fall on my sword now just for the translation of tab? So you say, okay, what does it matter? It's just a computer manual. Tab, cartesiya, leshonit. If it's good for Microsoft, then who are you? Who are you to start, you know, riding out and fighting this windmill? Enough. So you let it go, and the error rolls on. It's like you, as the individual freelance translator, are you going to take on Microsoft? No, and you have to, you know, produce the translation, and moreover, you'll be credited for it because you are an excellent mechanized translator because you used the Microsoft terminology. Bravo!